Hello, this is Bernadette Brady. We're looking at week 2 for the research module for the MA in Cultural Astronomy and Astrology at Trinity St David's, Lampeter, or the University of Wales, I should say. And this is actually covered with topic 3 on the Moodle page. And topic 3 is the questionnaires as well as insider outsiders. So there's two big subjects that we cover in this particular week. And questionnaires are covered in terms of they're probably a tool that you'll use, because as many people think questionnaires are sort of really simple, write a few questions down on a piece of paper and just send it out. But there's a lot to think about, the style of questions, what you're asking, and why are you asking, what is the academic rationale for asking those questions. And then once you've dealt with that, how do you send it out? Electronically, post it on a forum, print it out on a piece of paper and hand it to people? There's lots to think about and lots to talk about, as well as part of the way you'll answer those questions will be based in whether you're called what Pike called if you are an insider or an outsider. Do you belong to the community that you are researching, or are you seen as an outsider? And is it a cut and dried question? Is it you're one or the other, or is it this scale in between? So we look at this in this week, as well as we look at the concept of researcher far and researcher near. So there's a whole paradigm going on in terms of where do you locate yourself in the field and what you are researching. So this week covers that. In that regard, there's quite a lot of reading and a lot of thinking to do. We've actually got a list of readings to actually undertake to actually cover some of these major topics, which we'll be talking about in the seminar. But also we've got some more research papers that have been done based on subjects that the MA covers, which will give you other insights into how other people have tackled these things. There's Burgess, which is a website which he has put up, which is an excellent guide to just a little booklet almost. It's on the web on how to construct questionnaires. Really, really recommend that you read that and look at that thoroughly before you engage in your own questionnaire, if you're going to use that as one of your research tools. There's a podcast on Insider Outsider, so that's another nice thing to sit back and listen to that's on the web. And there's some anthropological perspectives on the web on Insider Outsider as additional material to your reading, so these are things you can explore. More research papers for you to get into. I used a questionnaire as one of the instruments in my own PhD, so that's just a reference to that chapter, which is in the MA library, so you can actually look at the questionnaire that I put out in the field and why I put out those questions. You could reproduce some of those questions, challenge those questions, etc. They're there for your information. Several correlations articles about researching different facets of what people think about their cosmologies. There's a paper by Blackmore and Siebold, and then it's actually challenged by Broadbank, who was actually a student of this MA and has now since gone on and done a PhD, and he's challenged the research findings. So that's an interesting sort of a paper in 2001 and then a counter paper some years later. The questionnaire used by Liz Green when she was looking at mystical experience within a target group of people studying astrology. And a really interesting paper by Walter and Waterhouse, a very private belief, nothing to do with cosmology or astrology, but looking at belief in reincarnation amongst a normal, average village English community who were generally Church of England, and looking at how they had a belief which was really contra to them, to what they should have believed, and how they held that anyway, and unpacking that. It's a very interesting paper and a good one to sort of read, to think about how you could look at how people can live with juxtapositions in terms of beliefs and how they can coexist in the one individual. And you could use this as a springboard to start to explore people's beliefs in different forms of cosmology apart from mainstream. Okay, so there's a lot in this week, as indeed every week is compact, but there's a lot to chew on and think about, and I hope that you'll enjoy this week. Okay, don't forget to read all the papers we put up as much as you can. Okay, bye-bye.